Okay. Let's go. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord. But honestly... There was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Van Zeek's so hot right now. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing? Yo, what up, Mr. Mike 323? Holy shit, you've been following me for 6 years? Goddamn!
Welcome back to the scrimmage! Cheers, man.
What the witnesses really saw.
Okay, alright, guys. Let's solve this together. What are we gonna press? What statement are we gonna press to get a little bit more of that information? There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. We have the glove though, which only show. Okay, all right. I'm kind of. This statement's kind of, a little sus. We have the glove that shows blood on one of them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. I would press statement 5 because they say they saw 2 people, but there is 2 seats inside and you can't see all of them from the top. Oh. Okay, so let's look at these statements one by one. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. Yo, dude. Shout out to all the homies for kicking it. Appreciate you, dudes. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired. If that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have been seen. Is that actually a channel name? Probably. What the? Yeah, if it's not actually a name, it'll just shout out the person that's doing the command. We were about to press him on statement number 5, I think. Thank you, Vega. Okay, so this one. Well, time for me to go. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Parpar. I know you're trying to avoid spoilers. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Tigger, did you just plague yourself?
Play with me instead? Oh? Okay, let's press him on this. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen.
Hold it!
Hold it. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes! I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin.
Oh? Why not? Anytime, Brian, call me! Roopog! I'll play with you, Brian. Oh? Why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked?
That's right. And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring, long and hard.
Long and hard.
And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed.
Van Zeek's so hot right now.
Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? What do you think, chat?
They're gay. All I have to offer.
I'm not sure what you're playing. Is some pancakes and milk. Get Leo. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They would have seen everything. They might not have been able to. Let's see. Court record. Let's examine, shall we? So if we look at the top of the omnibus, I mean, there is that window. Would you say that they would be able to see everything? Let's see, hold on. Okay, so the blood is on the right side of the omnibus. Yeah, I don't think they would have been able to see everything.
RWG, welcome back to the stream.
Can't stay long, just wanted to contribute towards Visage Kappa. For sure, dude, appreciate it, man. Hope you have a good night. Would have seen everything? I don't think they saw everything. You can't see the whole cabin from the top, just part of it. Yeah, definitely just part of it. They can't see the bottom seats that are right below them. Yeah. They might not have been able to. Let's go with that. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly! Really?
Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection! Objection. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated?
Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Okay, alright, so the skylight is here, right? So they would have... Okay, you can see that, right? You can see that. And if someone is sitting here and they're looking through, they could see here. What do you guys think? Where? Ladder? Oh, like on the outside? Okay, hold on. Let me look at this. All right, so we have those 2 seats over here, 2 seats over there. There's the front, and there's the ladder. Let me save real quick. The right seats, you can't see them. You need to turn your head 180 degrees to see in front of this, to see in from the front seats. Right. Doesn't look like they could unless they were right on top. True. True. Okay, let's go with the right seats then.
Take that! Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here.
Ah!
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
Objection. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo?
I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Hell yeah, I'd be a terrible lawyer. Santa! Who could have been in the other seat which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Beppo's the driver, and these two are on top. Our defendant, the small guy, he was on the other seat. They didn't see him and saw the killer instead. I knew who it was. What's your take, Artabichi? Oh my god, it was John Cena all along. This motherfucker did. God damn it. It was John Cena this whole time. Thanks for the 50 bits, dude. Our defendant, the small guy, he was on their seat. They didn't see him and saw the killer instead. Are you talking about Lady First? An apprentice milliner who witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck of the omnibus. The one person we never suspected. And it's John Cena! What is our defendant name? I forgot. Oh, this guy? Magnus McGilded. The defendant in this case, he's an incredibly wealthy philanthropist with a wonderful reputation in London. I'm to defend him as a test of my worthiness to become a lawyer. Magnus McGilded was sitting on the seat that didn't see, I believe. Okay, let's go with I have an inkling. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learnt.
Hi, Sam and chat. Hi, Meg. Good morning. Welcome back to the stream.
But they saw the killer. You should be streaming this, all this knowledge bombs you're dropping.
No, BB? You've changed, Meg? Brian, BB? Meg's tired, that's why.
How you doing, Meg? I hope you had a nice Christmas.
That does not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor.
On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin was obscured. The person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... the passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see. has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Mick?
Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, What are you talking about, Counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollow chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks.
People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Objection. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, Counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Objection. Yet, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
Is 13 a lucky or unlucky number?
It's a lucky number because I was born on the 13th. Thanks to the 13-month resub with the Prime, Meg.
Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Objection. Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
Objection. The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
Objection. And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit.
Extraordinary!
Oh, fuck boys, it's getting spicy.
Order, order, order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
Objection. The defense's postulation...
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
Objection. But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid I don't remember.
And you call yourself a hatter?
Fuck you, RWG. No judgment. Dude, I had so many stuffed animals growing up as a kid. So sad. I think they all got thrown away. But I had a shitload.
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
How can you be sure?
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled?
He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it.
Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what say you, counsel?
The prosecution objects, my lord.
On what grounds?
As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGild is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion?
My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not?
McGilded said he doesn't remember shit at the start. Demand.
Okay, I think we're gonna demand his testimony, but we're not gonna actually hear it because, yeah, it's past midnight. I really have to wrap up. Or I could just save right here. Come on. Demand his testimony. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes. I need a little time to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Rabble, 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 rabble. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Okay. Alright guys, I'm gonna save it right here before we get into his testimony. We will pick right where we left off here. Next Tuesday. I gotta start getting ready for bed. It's getting good, it's getting good. I always save again, even though I just saved. I don't know why. I'm like, I get paranoid. I'm like, oh, maybe it didn't save. Let me just save one more time. Even though it was like 10 seconds ago.